Hey guys, it's Christian, and I'm here right now because this is my report on my project for Language Arts, where we had to select 3 pieces of technology and go with them for 5 days and without for 5 days and record on how we thought it went. Okay, Monday, my first day with my devices, I used my Xbox and the 3 pieces of technology that I chose were my Xbox, my TV, and my iPod. Now, Monday, the first day of this project, I got to use all these devices, and I used my Xbox and my TV for about 150 minutes approximately, and I used my iPod for about 40 minutes. And I felt happy that I got to use these devices. Now the next day, Tuesday, was my second day with my devices, and I used my Xbox and my TV for about 170 minutes, and I used my iPod for about 130 minutes by listening to music while I was playing Xbox. And I also felt happy and content today that I could use my technology. Wednesday, the third day with my devices, I played Xbox and used my TV for about 190 minutes, and I used my iPod for about 40 minutes. I was, again, happy and content on this day. Thursday, my fourth day with the devices, I used my Xbox and my TV for around 190 minutes, and I used my iPod for about 70 minutes, and I was happy again today. Friday, my fifth day with my devices, I used my Xbox and my TV for about 230 minutes. And on my iPod, I was on my iPod for about 90 minutes. I was happy and content today. And I played Xbox most of the night. Okay, Monday, day 1 without my devices. Today, instead of using my devices, I played on my laptop for about 30 minutes, getting on the internet, whatever. And I also played my DS, which I don't usually use, for about an hour. And I only felt mildly frustrated and bored that I couldn't use these devices that I always use so much. And I also wrote, stories for about 10 minutes. Tuesday, my second day without devices, I played my DS for about 2.5 hours instead of playing Xbox and stuff, and that is way more than I've used my DS than I ever have in the past year. And I was also on my phone for about an hour throughout the night, or an hour and a half throughout the night, and I watched my brother play on his computer for about 20 minutes, and I hung out with him, and I was mildly frustrated, but I have to admit I caved in and I watched a movie. I watched a Saw movie, and I guess I felt like that since I didn't have school the next day, it wasn't really fair, I guess. I guess that's how I should put it. So yeah, I watched a movie. It was about an hour and 30 minutes, and that was caving in on my TV part of the project, but that was probably the only part whenever I caved in. And I got on my iPod for a little bit on Tuesday also. Wednesday was my third day without. And on this day I slept for a good portion of the day, and I played my DS for about an hour and a half throughout the day, and I got on my phone throughout the day, and starting to get mildly frustrated, still bored. Thursday, I got on my phone throughout the day and played my DS, and I watched my brother play on his computer for a little bit also, hung out with him. And I was getting a little bit more than mildly frustrated at this point. On Friday, I read for about 30 minutes and hung out most of the night. I'm happy now to know that this project is pretty much over. my mood was happy on Friday that this project was over. So basically the items that I used to substitute for Xbox TV and my iPod were my DS, my phone, and my book that I've been reading, and me writing stories. So basically I was doing more productive stuff. Even though the DS is still playing games, I wasn't using my Xbox. And on the DS I was playing a game where you have to think a lot, so it was a puzzle game, so I guess that was what you could call productive. And how I think that our society, I think we need to become less attached to our technology so that we can ensure that we do not end up like the society in Fahrenheit 451. Because everywhere you go, you see people on technology. We rely on technology for entertainment, for information, for everything. We don't just read books all the time anymore. We don't do work, stuff like that. Like us kids, we just like, well, I mean, we do work, but we mostly spend time on technology with friends, stuff like that. So I think we need to become less attached to our technology and stuff like that. And yeah, if we don't want to end up like the people in Fahrenheit 451 where society is all boring and all censored out and everything. So yeah, that was my project. I thought the project was very good, and it kind of pushed us out of our comfort zones because we're always used to having the technology we use most for us to use. So I really like this project, and that was my presentation.